Thank you for dropping in. Hopefully everyone can hear me. This will just take a moment. I'm just finishing up the setup of some of the assets we're going to be using today. We're going to work on some ruins and just general jungle scenes. Well, mostly jungle. We could put some ruins elsewhere. How's everyone doing today? I always aim to have this done before the stream, but this time I added quite a bit of stuff, so luckily we're on the quick part of the setup. Hello there. You sound like a nice man. Luckily, this will only take just a moment. I am feeling much better today, luckily. Hope you are as well. At the moment, we don't have plans for a console release, but that could change in the future. Not gonna need all of this, but I'm not the one who would make the decision on the console release, but if I were to take a guess, if we were to be able to have enough success with the game to all be working on it full time, I don't see why it wouldn't be possible. We're aiming, I believe, for the end of the year, maybe for early access, but we'll just have to see. It's hard to say an exact date at the moment. And of course, it could end up being sooner or later than that. It really just depends on how far we can get in that time. But we make progress very quickly, so I wouldn't be too concerned. We have a relatively large team, and they're all very talented, so I can definitely see us getting there sooner rather than later. This is the last batch of textures I have to convert. Then we'll be good to go. Yeah, today I think we're going to focus mostly on adding a little bit of life to the forest and so on, and well, I guess life isn't what you think when you see ruins, but I think you're going to be pretty happy with the game. It's definitely the most ambitious, but also the most successful game I've worked on. We have the right people to implement the ideas we have. So it's been going really well. And I think you'll also be happy to see it will run a lot better than you expect, despite using all of the new features here. Everyone that works on their respective part of the game knows what they're doing and does a really good job with it. And then for environment work, we'll be updating it as we go as well, not because it's not going to be finished at that time, but because we want the world to change as time goes on. So you'll still see changes in the map as well after release. I am indeed. And occasionally, Islander jumps on and helps me out, throws down like this structure you see in front of me. He put this here yesterday. He has a lot of good ideas too, so always will accept the help. Yeah, I always try to wrap up this setting up of assets before we start the stream, but sometimes, like today, I added about 20 gigs worth of meshes to use for ruins and things like that, so it takes a little time to get it all downloaded and set up. We have several biomes. I've at least started each one of them, and for a few of them, I've gotten a lot further. We have the jungle biome, which is the majority of the map, I would say, but not by a huge margin. They're all relatively equal, with jungle just a little bit more than the others. We also have a redwoods biome, like the redwoods forest in California, for example. We have meadows, and then something that's kind of similar to the meadows, grassland kind of foresty area outside of the redwoods that's kind of like a outskirts to transition to there. We have a desert biome. Unless I'm forgetting something right now, oh yeah, we also have a snow biome. We do have ferns in the jungle. Although I'm in the process of replacing them, I don't know why, but I'm very picky about ferns, particularly. So, oftentimes I'll replace them multiple times before I'm happy with them. We do have swamps. Most of those are going to be in the jungle. Although I'm still making progress on swamps, a lot of times I'll make several iterations of something before I'm happy with it, so I'm working on some concepts for it right now before I put more of them. I find when I play a lot of different games, I don't like their swamp areas, so I want to make this a really good one. This is always the most lovely part of environment design, waiting on things like this. Oh, I agree. We actually have some mangrove trees already, but I have only placed a couple of them on the map so far. However, I have an area where I'm about to put a bunch of them. And I'm glad you think so about the swamps. And of course, I'll be showing them on here as I add more of them. And once I get a little closer to an idea that I really like for them. So, feel free, everyone, to give feedback on the swamps. Because I feel like it's, like you said, it's one of those areas that a lot of games don't really get right. It's difficult to. So I think with some time, we'll make it look really good. Luckily, this is the last thing, and it's very quick. Just have to make sure I'm not converting anything that shouldn't be converted. But we definitely don't need a flashlight. Interesting. I guess we'll have some nanite spider webs. See how that goes. There we go. No, it's not quite what I was planning on for the swamp, so you're good to go there. Alright, so we're good. Let's just find where we want to start, and we'll get started. I think what I'm going to do is start up here. That I'm not sure of. Usually Islander is the one who handles the sneak peeks. If it were up to me, I'd probably show everyone every day. But something tells me that's not quite what he's wanting me to do. So we're probably going to have to remove some of these trees. I'll place some things first, and then we'll do that. So I'm going to make like a little cliffside here, and build some ruins into it. Just need to do this real quick so we can see an accurate representation of what the ground looks like. Yeah, that's true. That's part of why I was excited to start the streams in the first place, because If I could, I would show things more often. And doing the streams, I get to show off a little bit of what we're doing. And it's always nice to get feedback while we go too. So I wanted to use some of these. We're just going to make them look nicer first. Just pick a few at random and put them out here, see what they look like. I'm glad you do. I work on the map a lot, so I really hope that everyone ends up liking it as much as I like working on it. Usually at least several hours a day I put into it. Same here. Sometimes I like to place other things before I get to the ruins, but I feel like we're getting to the point where it's appropriate to go ahead and put some ruins out in the jungle and probably some in the redwoods too. And that actually might be one of the first things I do in the desert biome, because I feel like I can shape a lot around the ruins in those areas. Here we are. So we're not going to keep this material that comes on these. We're going to add our own. For this one, I'm thinking some ruins that are kind of built into this cliffside in a way, hidden in between them. Take a look at these. I think that'll work. TRF, big boys. This is one I put together for putting on rocks that aren't normally from that pack. It is a nice feature. I like it. There is lore. There's quite a bit of reading material about it, actually. I don't know what Islanders' plans are with releasing any of it, I guess, but you will know all of the lore. I'm glad you think so. It's a lot of fun to work on it, so I definitely spend maybe too much time, but is there such a thing as too much time working on this? It's just a lot of fun, and I like that people enjoy seeing it too. It's a huge motivator. I think I've just always enjoyed making really big and complex maps, so I've gotten used to working on big things like this. I'm actually still waking up, hence the typing issues. Left a little longer than I meant to. Oh yes, there already is a horseshoe crab temple. We're actually about a kilometer or two from it right now. Although there's more I'm going to add to it for sure because it's a wonderful, magical place, and it deserves the utmost attention. I'm not going to leave these trees clipping through the rocks, I just want to get them placed first. Now, who is he spying for? That's the question. Or she. We don't know. Yes, I'm so glad that everyone here appreciates the horseshoe crab. It's genuinely the best character in the game. Always will be. This is fantastic. I love it. The enthusiasm for the horseshoe crab. That's a great community right there. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. See, this material I put on them, it's not called Big Boys for no reason. Oh yes, always has been. Everything good in this world, it's all from the horseshoe crab. If you don't understand now, you will. One day. Yeah, these really did fit this area perfectly. I just added these rocks, or I didn't add them actually, but Islander just added these rocks yesterday, and I really like them. I just put together a different material for them because I don't want to make it look like I just dropped a bunch of assets on a map. I want it to really flow together. Usually what I do if I'm setting up a big cliff like this, I'll make a little section like this where I put a bunch of them together, and then I'll gather those and move them around. Basically, I use it as a template to make more cliffs around it. Just have to watch out for little holes, things like that, so people don't fall inside the cliff. We don't want that. We'll have to make sure the backside is covered up too. I'm gonna remove some of the trees so I can look for any holes here. I think today might also be a good time to start adding some clearings in the jungle too, so it's not just the same dense jungle everywhere you go. Oh yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. I've played a few games where I fell into a hole in a cliff, so now it's something I watch for every time. I'm sure here and there I might miss it, but easy and quick fix. There will be plenty of caves, yes. I haven't added that many yet, but there are a few. But there will be plenty, because if you ask me, if you're making a map like this, and you don't add a bunch of caves, you're doing it wrong. There is a new dev blog coming, which reminds me I still need to write my portion of it. See what this looks like. Yes, that's what I was looking for. You'll just need them all to flow together. And the great thing about using this material, if I decide one day I don't really like the look of the rock, but I want to keep the moss, I can just simply change the texture for the rock. That is why I love this setup. Floating rocks, my favorite. Here we go. Gotta have huge rocks. We'll cover up the backside more. Okay. Some of them disappeared here. That's normal. Now, why did that happen? I fully agree. I guess I might have accidentally deleted that part. Okay. We'll replace it. I'm glad you think so. I love working on the map, so... There are lots of things that I'm gonna change, but it's all going to look good in the end. I must have had some rocks highlighted when I wasn't paying attention and deleted them. Oh well, it happens. And I'll always take requests too on the streams for anything to add to the map, because in the end I'm just one guy and I won't have all the ideas. It's always good to hear from the community. I'm still questioning how that happened. Ah, see? Little hole there. We can't have that. Hello there. Thanks for dropping in. Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I think I've seen those. Yes, okay. That's what I was thinking of. I was looking at Path of Titans last night, and I thought that I saw those. Because I don't know a whole lot about that game in particular, so I got to see a bit of it, and I was pretty sure I saw that. Yeah, I agree. The the ground plants, a lot are nice, but some of them look a little too close to each other. So, I agree. I think I'm gonna give it a little bit more variation. We'll use some of these filler rocks. Once I get a little template set up right here, I can make much faster progress. Oh, whoops. I was trying to do a variety of each one of those, and more as well. I like to look at a lot of pictures of real caves and cool areas, and I find that to be really helpful. I agree. A nice little spot to perch. And I'm not going to do it in the way that the Isle, for example, does. There will definitely be ways around the cliffs. I don't know about you, but I really hate having to walk around a huge range of cliffs. So, later on I'm going to add a pathway through some of this. Have to fill in some of these spots. I don't think... Okay, that's what I thought. That one doesn't have a backside. So we need to remove a few more trees right here. I really like these rocks. Maybe a couple more varieties. Excellent. Definitely want to have a couple of these here and there. Might be a little too big. There we go. Yeah, this will be a good spot for some ruins. So I'm thinking I'm either going to put them over here somewhere or up here on top of the cliff. Oh yes, I am making those. I haven't completed them yet. The trees you're talking about. Oops. maybe I'll wrap those up today. I think those will be some pretty cool trees for the desert. I'm just going to double check, make sure we don't have any holes to fall into. Looks like we're good. So now what I can do turn this into one. Actually, I'm not going to do that yet. But we'll go ahead and put down some ruins up here. I think we'll have some on both spots. Actually, I was going to pick one spot, but just too many possibilities. Can't restrict ourselves like that. I think I'll have to look that up. Definitely lots of temples planned. Ah, floating rock. The best kind. Must rectify this. Excellent. Yeah, I suddenly forget though what those trees are called, but I know exactly which ones you're talking about. And I also made some of the Draco trees for it. That sounds pretty awesome. I actually do need to get more details on temple-related lore for the game. It's not too long from now I'll start adding more things like that. We're moving into the stage in some of these spots where it'll be less landscape and jungle work and more structures. I'm gonna clear out some of these trees because I don't know exactly yet where I'm putting the meshes for the ruins, so just want to have a little space. That's how I roll. I just wing it. I think that needs to be smoothed out just a little bit more. I like the idea, but I'm not sure. I'll have to ask because I'm waiting on the rest of the lore so I can read it all and help shape the map around it. I'm not sure if we have mammoths here, but I like the idea. Absolutely, you can always post pictures and tag me, and even if I don't look right away, I will eventually. A lot of times I'm working on the map or something, and it'll take me a while to respond to messages. I do kind of think I would like some of this moss to be a little darker, but that's something I'll mess with on my own time. And also want to make sure we get a path heading over this direction. There we go. Had to find it. I think I always forget what material this is. Is it this one? No. Oh, there we are. You could just put it in the general chat if you want. It's up to you. This shadow ring is going to bother me. There we go. And obviously we're gonna remove some of these trees from the path. Or we could be really cool and just not. Actually, I think it would be easier to remove the trees first. See, told you I'm still waking up. Ooh, I stopped. Here we are. I believe there are going to be some things of interest there, but I don't know how much about that has been revealed, so I'm going to leave it at that. And I actually might be able to add my real-life giant sequoia and coast redwood to the game this week. They're finally just about big enough for me to scan them. Wanted to have them as little seedlings in the redwood forest. Still pretty sure I'm going to change this ground material. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's been hard to find one I really like. But yes, my giant sequoia and coast redwood have been growing very rapidly, so they should be good enough to scan now. And yes, working on this game inspired me enough to start growing real trees. And hopefully soon I'll be working on the game full time. Perfect. Yeah, I'll take a look. Probably while this part is saving, so since it takes a minute anyways for it to save. Just smoothing this out a little. Make trees breakdance. Completely normal. I get it. I, I really wasn't successful growing anything before this, but I decided I would get something I really wanted to keep alive, so I would do a better job. And they're doing really well so far. They've grown a lot. And I think the climate in my area is just, it fits them relatively well. I think probably most of the rest of my state probably wouldn't work very well for these trees, but I live in a valley area. It's very humid here, and that's exactly what the coast redwood needs, at least. Let me take a look. It does. I really didn't think I would enjoy it so much, but it's been really satisfying. Ooh, I do like that. I just looked at the picture. Yes, I definitely want to do something like that. I saved it so I can go back to it. But yeah, it is really rewarding and feels good because I had heard a lot about how a lot of people had trouble keeping coast redwoods alive. So I wasn't really expecting that much success, but I wanted to try. And it's been doing great. Okay, last path we need to paint. Actually, I'm going to wait until I put the ruins down. Absolutely, and thank you for sharing ideas. I'll always take more. A lot of games, people have some big complaints about the maps, and they could have been fixed beforehand. So I'd like to make sure that we don't end up in that situation. There we go. I just have to say this flavor of Monster is glorious. Ultra Sunrise. Now I know what sunrise tastes like. Yeah, I like it too. It looks really cool. Seeing if any of these are a good fit. They're pretty nice looking. Probably drop a few things out here so I can take a look at them. These two. Yes, I am about to put a bunch of stuff on the map. Definitely gonna have to organize a little. We're going to try to make this a pretty complex set of ruins here. Who wants boring ruins? Compiling shaders, my favorite. I think my complaint here is these are a little bit bright, but I'll probably... Let me see how the material is set up, if it's something that we could easily fix. We could definitely make it look a little nicer. Let's see. This will be a small thing, but it'll react a little better with the light, which will be pleasing. Oh, here we go. Why would you have that turned off? Better. Now it doesn't look so flat. I don't know why that was disabled by default. I think I'm going to apply it to all of them real quick. And if anything looks bad with it, then we can just turn it off. We're not going to use that. And this will just take a moment. It looks a lot better if we do a couple simple touch-ups to the material. I'm really big on having everything fit together seamlessly, if that makes sense. I don't want it to look like a bunch of assets are dropped on the map. No ambient occlusion. That is an interesting decision. Almost done. What is this for? Translucency. And already added it to this one. We're going to toggle this on by default. And there we are. Should be better now. I'm going to move some of these around. I like to leave a bunch of them out so I can see it all at the same time. And of course, while I'm going, if you have any suggestions for how you want the ruins to look, I will definitely take them into consideration at the very least. Or use them in another set of ruins. And I have something special I'm going to be adding today. It won't be on the stream, but you will see it very soon. Something I made just for this game. What even is this? I don't think I'm going to need that right now. This is the only bad thing about photoscanned things. They can have some odd shapes. Makes it a little difficult to work with sometimes, but you really can't beat how realistic it looks. And when you're using nanite, you actually benefit from higher poly counts anyways, so photoscans are also good for that. Honestly, I think I'll be more excited about the surprise than most people will, but I think there's a good chance a lot of people will really like it. It's mainly just something for looks, but there will be interactions with it too. I just like to try and custom make a lot of unique things to use in the game. I know this takes a minute getting it all set up, but beauty takes time. There will be trees to climb. But you're on the right track for the surprise. Now what is this? Oh. See, this one in particular doesn't look good with... Let me see what it is that's causing that. Not that. Oh. Ah, dithering. That's probably what it is. Yep. That was the problem. That will probably, unless I get approval before that, it'll probably be next week. But if I'm allowed to show a little sneak peek, I will. Because it should be ready today. Okay, I think this will do it for now, for making what we need. So I think first we're going to get some stairs coming up the hill over to the left to lead to the ruins. See if these can look good blended in. Good plant. Yeah, I think we'll use it. Just have to remove some of these rocks after we get a little further. You'll just have to make sure there aren't any seams. The downside about working with photo scans. See what these look like. Maybe. That one might be a little too intense on the roots. Now that I do want to use. I think I'm gonna add something called RVT height blending to this later. It'll make it blend with the landscape when I place it, and that'll look really nice with these. See how this looks. Why can't I have anything cool like this by my house? Just some ruins. That's a normal thing to have by your house, right? That is bigger than I thought it would be. Might have to move some things around. And probably slow this camera down. Oh yes. I love huge rocks. And they have to eat their Wheaties to stay healthy. Has to happen. Not quite. I'm going to use that somewhere. Yes, they should be able to. I'm gonna test it later. I was actually thinking about that. Gonna make sure that they can walk on it. Definitely takes a little time to set up places like this, but it just makes the map so much more interesting. Definitely a necessity. Might put some of these down. Yeah, I always loved when I would play a game and I could see all the attention to detail, the little things. It makes it so much nicer. Feels more lifelike. Oh, where'd it go? I lost it. There we are. That root kind of gets in the way. See how the other one looks. Still doesn't quite fit how I wanted it to. What is this? Oh yeah, that's pretty good. I think I will be using that, just not right there specifically. Making sure we don't have any visible seams. Now we can continue. I really haven't seen much of Massachusetts in general. Maybe I should look it up. We'll go on more trips because I also haven't been to many different states yet. When I say many, I've actually only been out of my state a couple times ever. I should be shunned. Oh, really? Well, now I really want to look it up. But I'm glad you think so. I think I'm gonna have to do a little Googling after I wrap up the stream today. Which is not yet, by the way. Definitely want to at least start on an actual structure. But wanted some nice stairs up the side first. I really love interesting forests, so I'd love to see that. I got some really cool pictures of a forest in Sweden yesterday. Definitely made me want to go there. I think this area would look really cool in the rain. Which gives me some ideas. I think we're going to try some out in a minute. We just need a smooth transition up onto here. Yes, it is. I love how Sweden looks. I really hope to visit there one day. Just trying to find the best way to transition up onto these stairs. Maybe? No, that's too steep. Never mind. Now, what is the deal with these? Oh. Still, though, it just doesn't look right. It's better. So I'm definitely going to use that, but not right there. Ooh, that sounds pretty awesome. I want to look that up too. Oh, you're lucky being so close to Sweden. I live in Texas, and yeah, it's not quite like this. Might end up just having to reshape the landscape right here so it leads up to the stairs. I think it might just be too steep. Yeah, that's one thing I like about how it looks there. It looks ancient. So I think we'll raise the land a little bit right here. Bring it up to the stairs. Just a small amount. Gonna have to smooth it out a little. Perfect. I'll probably make a better way up here later on too. Just want to get it started right now. Or we can try this. This might turn out alright. Yeah, that's decent enough. For now. There we go. That's what I was going for. I wanted some of the leaves to kind of spill up onto the stairs. And now, since I don't have much more time, I'm gonna move up to the top of the mountain so we can actually place some ruins. More than just stairs. It's just always a little time consuming working on the side of a mountain because there's so much to work with the shape of the landscape. That's a good start for the stairs. But yeah, I actually haven't been across the ocean at all, and I definitely need to change that. I'm glad he thinks so. So we'll move up here. That'll be a wonderful view once I... Well, most of the landscape over there isn't loaded right now, but once you see it in-game, it's going to be a nice view right here. We should probably make the landscape flat right here, because it'll make it a lot easier to work with. Then I can shape it up later on. Look at all these completely normal floating structures. I'm 100% about to Google Massachusetts forests after this. I actually have a friend who lives in Massachusetts. I'm so glad I'm not the only one. There's just nothing like living in a floating structure. The landlord can't reach me, it's fantastic. Haven't paid rent in years. What's he gonna do? Nothing. He can't reach me. Take a look at some of these walls. It always takes a little time to get ruins looking really good, because you don't want it to look all put together and too clean. So usually I'll make a little initial structure and then go from there. Orange trees, I like the sound of that. I think what I'm disappointed with this pack is not enough broken pieces. But I guess, what can I say? They're real scans, so... I'm definitely curious about the red trees. I think if I remember right, some Dawn Redwood trees grow there, so that might be some of the interesting colored trees. I have a Dawn Redwood growing outside, and I have a neighbor who has a fully grown one. And they can definitely turn some interesting colors. Thank you, I really appreciate that. Trying to think. We have a lot of different trees. I wouldn't be surprised if we have some that color, but I honestly can't remember every single tree on the map because there are so many. But I'm also going to be adding a lot more unique ones. remove some of this foliage. Oh, but we do have seasons. It's not fully implemented yet, but I did set up the seasons so they exist. It's mainly that I still need to go through each biome to give them each their unique weather. Leave a little gap in the wall over here. Yes, there is a snowy area. I haven't done a whole lot with it yet, but it is there. It's right next to our redwoods biome. Just about perfect. There we go. I wanted the roots to be visible. I'm also excited. I want more people to be able to play it. Yeah, you're right. It's definitely not common to see snowy areas in dinosaur games, and really there aren't enough dinosaur games in general. Yeah, you're right about that. Let's see, I want a window piece. Here we go. Want everything to be a little off-center. Then I'm thinking I'll make a kind of platform that goes out right here so you could look out over the landscape. Just deciding what to continue with. I'm also kind of thinking a little skylight that leads into here could be pretty nice. We'll see. Might be a little too long. Mostly there will be. There's going to be kind of a variety of buildings. This is somewhat to do with the lore of the game. Yes. There's a place that Islander and I were talking about last night that we're trying to make into maybe that kind of place. It really depends on where people want to hang out, but I think the place that we're looking at doing probably will get a lot of attention from players. Definitely something I'm going to test out soon. I think the biggest concern is making everything as unique as possible. Interesting, so you don't have boring areas of the map that you're not so much a fan of. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I think they would. And you'll see soon enough, but we have some big ideas about places for tribals and dinosaurs. Oh look, I did find a place to use this. Yeah, I like that idea too. This is why I always end up having to come back and adjust ruins a few times. It's hard to make it look destroyed, kind of. We definitely have a lot of ideas for villages, and all of those buildings will also be different depending on the biome. Yes, you could say that. But there definitely is a theme going on with the temples. I can say that much. I don't know why this feature is enabled by default on these materials. I just saw it happen again. There it is. So we need some good ground tiles. I know they're included in here, I just don't remember if I set any out already. Don't think I did. I'll look at these, but I have some others in mind if these don't look the way I want them to. This is definitely something I'm probably going to spend a few days on because there's a certain image in my head I want it to look like. Oops. Yeah, that would make sense to me. Although I'd definitely keep an eye out. You never know what's lurking. Normally I end the stream at this point, but I'm not quite ready to stop yet. There's a couple things I wanted to complete, so we're going to go a little longer. And I appreciate you all for sticking around to watch, by the way. You know, I think I always think that people are going to be bored watching it because I know how time consuming it is. But you just get in a kind of flow state and don't want to stop. I'll probably do the roof portion later on once I finalize the shape of this place. This is just a beginning for it, basically. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you like watching them. I always look forward to the streams. I would do it more often if I could. But I work on this as well as my main job, and then I also go to school currently. I started a little late, but so it goes. Better late than never. Let me put some of these down. This is a little more what I was aiming for with the floor. Look who it is. Oh yes, ruins. Definitely gonna get, it's gonna take a little time to make them look the way I want, but it's a start. I actually just taught myself. One day I was really inspired after playing a game called Visage. It's a horror game. And I always loved the look of Unreal Engine because I've always liked good graphics. So I started learning with that, and it was difficult at the beginning to learn to optimize it. There's a lot of information out there, and a lot of it is wrong. So I just had to learn to experiment with things on my own. and it worked out. He also puts structures on the map every now and then. He likes map work. He's just a busy guy. But every now and then I put videos with instructions for things involving Unreal on my personal YouTube channel. Usually they're just really quick videos, nothing really comprehensive. But I try to help out other new people when I can. I started right around the time that Unreal 5 came out. Yes, I did. I'll send them to you after this. I didn't get as many screenshots as I wanted because I was exhausted yesterday, so I passed out at my desk. As you do. Now, we need some nice broken up ground. You're right. I probably shouldn't sleep. It's for the weak. And I would never be weak. Ever. Yeah, he made a little fishing village the other day. That way the work is always continuing. If I'm at my main job, he can work on it while I'm gone. It works out perfectly. Let's reduce this a little bit. See if there's anywhere this fits in. Whoops. Maybe not the best one to use right here. So let's... Yes, you're absolutely right. Have to rest every now and then, but I probably rest less than most people. I just always have a bunch of ideas for the game, and I don't want to be away for too long. Probably going to change the color of these tiles so it matches the others a little more closely at least. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I'm about to see what good scattered stuff I have. Definitely some of these. That I'm not 100% sure on. I mainly just handle the map, so I don't know a ton about what they're planning for gameplay mechanics. Ah, there we go. I like that. And I know just the one to scatter around here. I forgot I have more than one. Yes, that's actually exactly what I was thinking. Definitely gonna put some big trees around and inside of this. Those pesky edges of the scans. It's not going to work like that. We'll come back to that. And this one, I think I'm actually going to use that more like pinning foliage. Might even do that with this one too. It sounds like he would be a good designer. Might be worth giving it a try. Where's the one I had in mind? Absolutely. I'll always take suggestions. You can DM me on Discord if you want, or put it in the chat. Up to you. Getting there. Just need more floor tiles. Some destroyed ones. I think for these, I'm gonna try out a different material on them. Oh yeah, I know what you mean. I will always take suggestions. I want everyone to love the map as much as I love working on it. That's definitely not gonna work. Maybe. Let me see. Not quite. That's still not it either. I don't think this is going to look good, but I'm going to take a look anyways. Actually, that looks better than I thought it would. Now that, on the other hand, does not. Nor that. We'll just use the other one for now until I have more. Yeah, I'm gonna probably have to download. I think if I mix these two together, this might work. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm a fan. So that will work for me. Yeah, I'll probably experiment a bit with that. I think for now I'll place them and then gonna come back later and mess with the materials a little bit more. I want it to look old and mossy. I have other plans right there. There we go. Not too bad. This one? Yeah, I'm probably gonna tweak that a little bit. Mainly I want to get a little bit of a layout at the moment so I can return and make it nicer. I think I want some smaller tiles. I'm gonna try this out, see if we can make it look good. Needs to be a little darker. Oops. Um, not certain which stones. I think this also needs to be a little bit darker. Oh yes, definitely. Probably gonna add a bunch of vines to it. Probably not on the stream today, but I definitely will be adding those. Not that particular one. I do want to use this, but probably not in here. I'll mess around with this a little bit. I think we can make this work. There we go. I like that. So I think the last thing we'll do for today before I stop the stream, there's a very large root that I want to put going into here. Oh yeah, same here though. I'm a big fan of hanging vines. I'm gonna definitely cover this place in them, probably after I put the roof. This needs a different material. Yeah, I think this will look pretty awesome here. Let's see. I'll take them both out and we'll experiment. This one might be a little bit too intense. We'll see. I'm gonna try the other one out first. So if I'm gonna leave this here, I need to move this tile somewhere else. go. I wanted that nice little cracked section there. This, I think we're going to keep this one outside of the ruins. Yeah, this is a pretty solid start. Yeah, I put one broken stone here, but I think I'm gonna have to set up some more of those. In fact, I need to turn this one around. There we are. Yeah, I'd say it's a good start. Definitely going to continue working on this, but it's going to take some time to do the ideas that I have. Oh yes, definitely. I'll have some tiny stones to put around it that I'll scatter around, but I think I'm going to end up having to do that a little later on, because I believe it is lunchtime. But yes, I guess we'll go ahead and stop here, and I'm going to continue on this, because it's going to take a little time to give it the look I want. But thank you all for dropping in. I'll be back next week on the same day and time as far as I know. I'm going to try to start scheduling them a little further in advance. So, I'll probably go ahead and schedule the next one today. But thank you again for dropping in and for the suggestions. They're very helpful. And I hope you all have a great day.